Boxing Truth here, back with another video. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Alright, let's talk about the big fight tomorrow between Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders. Long awaited, anticipated fight, years in the making. We're finally going to find out how good Billy Joe really is, as he has the opportunity of a lifetime, albeit politically it's against him. Has to travel to America to try to get a decision against Canelo Alvarez. It's pretty much almost an impossible task, getting a decision against Canelo Alvarez. Why? Well, he's the biggest star in the sport, one of the faces of boxing. His reputation is at an all-time high now. It took a while, but now he's finally getting the credit and recognition that he should have been gotten for the past few years now. Now, I've always been saying for a while that Canelo is the best fighter in the world, but he's not invincible. He's not unbeatable. Is it almost impossible to get a decision against him? Yeah, it's almost impossible. But anything's possible in boxing. No one expected Fury to knock out Wilder. There's been bigger upsets in the sport. Considering Saunders is an accomplished fighter, undefeated, been an Olympian, has one of the more pure boxing styles out there. And when he's on, he's a tricky night for anybody in the sport of boxing, including Canelo Alvarez. Now, this fight, honestly, I don't like this fight for Canelo. If I was advising him, I'd be like Duke when he was advising Apollo Creed not to take the rematch with Balboa. I'd be telling Canelo he's all wrong for us, baby. We don't need a man like this in our lives. But Canelo's a true champion, wants to challenge himself, wants to find out if he's really improved against this type of style. And he's definitely improved. He's much stronger now. He's more confident now. He wasn't as confident 7 years ago as he is now. He's matured as a fighter. He's more experienced. But Saunders is better than Erislandy Lara. Saunders is better than Austin Trout. Saunders is the best boxer Canelo has fought since Mayweather. And Canelo, he fought the wrong style against Mayweather, but that's not Canelo's style. He doesn't overpower you. He tries to outthink you, he tries to outsmart you, and he tries to capitalize on your mistakes. He tried to outbox and outthink Mayweather when he should have been the bigger man, the more physical guy. But he tried to outbox him and outcounter him, and it wasn't working. Mayweather was too quick for him at that time. And Saunders, he has that quickness, only he's a southpaw and he's a bigger guy. A lot bigger than Mayweather. And he's truly coming to win, man. This is a style that's all wrong for Canelo, but you know, Canelo has to fight he's willing to fight all these type of styles. He wants to find out how good he is, if he's really improved. That's what a true champion does, man. He's a real fighter. We ain't talking about protected hype jobs like Gervonta Davis. We're not talking about fighters who only fight fighters within their promotional umbrella. This guy is willing to take on all comers and face the most difficult styles. And if he wins this fight, he's going to continue to pursue the more challenging fights out there. This is possibly the most difficult fight Canelo has to take at around the middleweight, super middleweight divisions. The truth is, there's not many people I would pick to beat Billy Joe Saunders. I think he's an excellent fighter. I think he beats a lot of guys out there. He's a tricky guy to fight, man. He's quick. He's got a good defense. He has good footwork. He has great movement. He knows how to box. He knows how to counter. He's got decent pop in his punches. There's very few guys I would pick to beat Billy Joe Saunders. And Canelo is one of them. Maybe Demetrius Andrade is another one. But you think Charlo would beat Billy Joe Saunders? Nah. He won't be able to deal with that style. David Benavidez, I wouldn't pick David Benavidez to beat Saunders. Nope. Caleb Plant don't box as good as Billy Joe Saunders. But this is going to be a intriguing fight to see how Canelo deals with this type of style. I don't like the fight for Canelo. I think it's a tricky fight. I don't expect him to be dominant in this fight. I expect a very competitive fight. I expect a controversial fight. But, he's the A side. He is fighting in the state of Texas, one of the most corrupted states in the sport of boxing. And the most logical decision, the most logical outcome of this fight, maybe the best bet, is Canelo by decision. But there's no value in that play, not true value. I mean, you got to risk a lot of money for Canelo by decision. Will Canelo knock Saunders out? Possible, but I don't see it, man. I don't see him knocking Saunders out. Most likely it will be a distance fight. It will be a tricky fight. He may look lost at times, and then when Saunders' conditioning fails him, that's when he'll probably turn it up. But, if I was advising Canelo, I would have told him to avoid this fight. I mean, who cares about, you ain't going to get a lot of stick if you don't fight Saunders. I mean, they want you to fight the other dudes. Well, most people in the boxing world, especially in America, they want you to fight Benavidez or Charlo. Those fights are a lot easier for Canelo style-wise. But this guy, he's all wrong for Canelo. And you're going to see in the first 6 rounds of this fight why he's all wrong for Canelo. I'm expecting a strategic fight, very difficult fight, tricky fight for Canelo. And I expect the best Billy Joe Saunders. But can he get a decision in the state of Texas? I think it's slim to none that he can get a decision. He's going to have to win 9 rounds to get a draw. I don't know who the judges are. I assume they're all American. So maybe that's neutral, I guess. But the bet I'm recommending here is the draw. It's the most value for your money. It's a very possible outcome because Saunders, I believe, will box the fight of his life. And I believe he'll make it to the final bell. The most logical, Canelo by decision. If you want some value, bet on the draw. But we'll see what happens, man. I expect a very interesting fight tomorrow. We're gonna find out if Canelo is truly improved against the style. But let it be known, this is the best boxer Canelo has fought since Mayweather. And either he's on a whole nother stratosphere, he's drastically improved. He's definitely improved, but he hasn't fought this style in a minute, man. Kovalev was a great boxer, but he is not as good defensively as Saunders. He's a greater fighter than Saunders, but Saunders is a better boxer, pure boxer than Kovalev. Even though Kovalev is a great boxer as well, but he didn't have the defense that Saunders got. That's will be the difference in if a knockout will occur in this fight. Kovalev almost made it to the last bell. Had him 2 rounds ahead over Canelo going into that fight. But he caught him. Will he catch Saunders? Possible. but I see it being a long distance fight, decision fight, and a controversial decision. But the bet I'm recommending is a draw. But tread carefully. You don't want to end up like Dwyer, who possibly could lose it all. He's recommending. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, picking Saunders, there's value in the play, and it is possible. But can he get a decision? That's what's stopping me from betting on Saunders. Can he get a decision? I really don't think so. But I'm definitely not gonna bet no under. Definitely not gonna bet a knockout in this fight. Every time I bet a knockout on Canelo, I always lose. I bet on Canelo to knock out Smith, lost. Bet on Canelo to knock out Jacobs, lost. Bet on Canelo to knock out Golovkin in the second fight, lost. So you know what? I'm not betting Canelo by knockout. I'm just gonna bet the draw and get the most value for my buck. And if I lose, I lose. But I can afford to lose what I'm gonna put for that wager. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this fight. Who you got? Looking forward to it. Expect an intriguing showdown between two of the best fighters in the game, among the best fighters in the world. Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo Alvarez. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.